If Rita had taken just one bite of that sauce, this story would have ended in a funeral, not a hospital. But thank God for strong instincts and a mother-in-law who didn't know how to hide guilt properly. Rita had always dreamed of a peaceful marriage. She wanted to marry a good man, live in a happy home, and have children who would run around the house laughing. When she met Philip, she believed her dreams were coming true. He was kind, hardworking, and loved her deeply. But there was one problem that stood like a mountain between her and peace. His mother, Mama Grace. From the very first day Rita entered her husband's house, Mama Grace's eyes followed her like a hawk. She smiled, yes, but it was the kind of smile that carried no love, only judgment. She would say, "Welcome," but her body would shift like she wanted to walk away. Rita noticed it but kept quiet. She was taught to respect elders, especially her husband's mother. She cooked, cleaned, washed Mama Grace's clothes, and even gave her back massages when she complained of the back pain. But no matter what Rita did, Mama Grace never seemed happy. She found fault in everything. "Why is the soup watery?" "You don't know how to sweep well." "Since you came here, my son is always tired." "You are using charm to hold him." Rita would go to her room and cry into her pillow, but she never told Philip. She didn't want to come between him and his mother. But things kept getting worse. One morning, Rita overheard Mama Grace talking on the phone with someone. "That girl must go," Mama Grace whispered harshly. "I don't care how. I didn't suffer to train my son for one village girl to come and control him. She must leave, even if it means using small amounts of medicine." Rita's heart skipped a beat. Medicine? What kind of medicine? She stepped back quietly and returned to the room. That night, she couldn't sleep. Her eyes stayed wide open and her mind was racing. Was Mama Grace planning to harm her? The next day, something strange happened. Mama Grace entered the kitchen and smiled. "Rita, you've been doing too much. Let me make lunch today." Rita froze. Mama Grace had never entered the kitchen willingly before, unless it was to complain about how Rita cooked. Now she wanted to prepare food? "All right, Ma," Rita said carefully, pretending to be calm. Mama Grace brought out ingredients, tomatoes, pepper, onions, and began to make tomato sauce. Just as Mama Grace was stirring the sauce, Rita's eyes caught the white powder being poured into the bubbling pot. Her heart skipped a beat. That wasn't salt. Her mind raced, piecing together everything she'd observed in the last few days. The strange smiles, the way Mama Grace kept insisting she will be the one to prepare the meals, the little oddities that didn't sit right. She needed to be careful. Rita turned to the counter and grabbed a small plate, quickly scooping a spoonful of the sauce into it. She slid it into the fridge just in case. She couldn't be sure, but she didn't want to take any chances. She wasn't ready to confront Mama Grace and complain to her husband yet, not without proof. When the food was ready, Rita forced herself to smile as she served Philip and Mama, placing the sauce generously on their plates. Mama Grace smiled silently and picked at her food. Rita watched both of them closely. Rita, however, opted for plain rice. She told herself it was just a personal choice, but deep down, it was her way of protecting herself. If something went wrong, she needed to be in a position to take care of Philip. She couldn't afford to fall ill, too. Mama Grace's smile faded for a split second when she noticed that Rita took only white rice for herself. Her eyes darted between Rita's plate and Philip's. She didn't say a word, but her fingers clenched slightly. Something had gone wrong. Philip ate the food happily. "This sauce is nice today. Rita, you finally added something special," he said, smiling. 10 minutes later, Philip suddenly stopped chewing. He touched his stomach. "Ah! Something is wrong. My chest is burning. I feel hot." He jumped up and started pacing the room, holding his stomach. "I feel like fire is inside me." Rita rushed to bring water. Mama Grace stood and tried to act surprised. "What is happening to my son?" Rita did not speak. She gave Philip more water, but he started sweating badly. They rushed him to the hospital. After several tests, the doctor came out and said, "He has been poisoned. Whatever he ate was dangerous and almost burned his organs. He's lucky you brought him on time." Philip lay on the hospital bed, weak and confused. "But we all ate the same food," he said. "No," Rita said firmly. "I didn't eat the sauce. I saw what your mother poured into it." Philip turned to his mother slowly. "Mama, is that true?" Mama Grace turned her face away. "Mama, answer me," Philip shouted weakly. Mama Grace started crying. "I only put a little powder. It's not real poison, just something to give her stomach pain. I wanted her to pack and go." "Mama, you could have killed me," Philip cried. "You almost killed your own son because of hatred." "I was trying to protect you," Mama Grace shouted. "That girl is not good for you." That night, Philip refused to speak to his mother again. When they returned home 2 days later, he told her to pack her things. "You will go back to the village," he said. "I love my wife, and you tried to kill her. I cannot allow you to stay in the same house with us again." Mama Grace cried, begged, and even fell to the floor. But Philip did not change his mind. Rita stood quietly by the door, watching. She didn't smile. She didn't celebrate. She just wanted peace. Mama Grace finally left the house, angry and bitter. Before entering the car, she turned to Rita and said, "This marriage will not last. Watch and see." Rita did not reply. She walked back inside and locked the door. Weeks passed and peace returned to their home. Philip became stronger and Rita's heart became lighter. They laughed again. They cooked together. They even started making plans to have a child. One morning, Rita opened the front door and saw something strange. A black goat was standing right at the doorstep staring at her. Its eyes were wide and scary. It didn't move. It didn't blink. Rita stepped back and closed the door. "Philip," she called, "come and see something." He came, looked through the window and frowned. "That goat is strange. Maybe it belongs to someone." But the goat didn't leave. Every morning it was there. Sometimes it walked around the compound but never entered. It only watched. One night, Rita had a dream. She saw Mama Grace standing outside their house, whispering into the wind and sending strange things into their home. She woke up sweating. That day, their television stopped working. The blender sparked and caught fire, and all the eggs in the fridge turned black. Rita had had enough. She called her friend Ben, who was a strong believer and had studied some spiritual things. Ben came over with oil and his Bible. "This goat is not just a goat," he said. "I think someone sent it to monitor your house." Ben poured anointing oil at the door and shouted prayers. As soon as he sprinkled the oil near the goat, it sneezed loudly and ran away. They didn't see the goat again. But Rita was not satisfied. She told Philip, "I need to see your mother. I need to end this nonsense." Philip agreed, though he was worried. Rita traveled to the village that same week. She arrived without warning. Mama Grace was surprised to see her. "What are you doing here?" she asked coldly. "I came to give you something," Rita said, bringing out a bottle. "What is it?" Mama Grace asked. "Anointing oil," Rita replied calmly. "For enemies of peace, for people who try to destroy good marriages. I brought it for you to use." Mama Grace was shocked. "Are you calling me an enemy?" "I didn't say that," Rita said, still smiling. "But I want peace in my home. If anything strange comes near my house again, I will return. And this time, I will not come with oil. I will come with fire." Mama Grace swallowed hard and looked away. From that day, she never sent anything again. She never called Philip to insult Rita. Instead, she started calling to ask how they were doing. She even sent yam and groundnut one time. But Rita never went back to visit her. She blocked Mama Grace on her phone and stopped responding to her texts. Philip understood. He supported his wife and protected her peace. Years later, when Rita gave birth to a baby girl, they named her Grace, not after Mama Grace, but because after all the poison, pain, and problems, what kept their home strong was grace. And Mama Grace? She never tried anything again, because she learned that when you fight a peaceful woman with a clean heart, even poison cannot win. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and turn on your notification bell to be notified once I post another story.